Not because I suffer fast, not because I pray and fast. No be your show, no be jazz. I'm watching. Daily, Osinachi. I'm no qua, Osinachi. One lemon, Osinachi. I'm watching. Daily, Osinachi. Mama, Osinachi. Not because I suffer fast, not because I pray and fast. No be your show, no be jazz. I'm watching. Daily, Osinachi. I'm no qua, Osinachi. One lemon, Osinachi. I'm watching. Daily, Osinachi. Mama, Osinachi.
bẹ́ẹ̀.
Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Àwọn ọmọdé wọ̀nyí kéré sí nọ́mbà wa.
A ní wọ́n kéré o, wọ́n kéré o, wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Àwọn ọmọdé wọ̀nyí kéré sí nọ́mbà wa.
Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa.
Not because I suffer fast, not because I pray and fast. No be your show, no be that. I'm watching. Daily Osinachi, I'm no qua, Osinachi. One man, Osinachi, I'm watching. Daily Osinachi, Mama, Osinachi.
I'm church.
You are calling on you.
Mami. I'm my charge. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, are you with me?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I think you're about to start. When we're expecting them to join.
Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Àwọn ọmọdé wọ̀nyí kéré sí nọ́mbà wa.
A ní wọ́n kéré o, wọ́n kéré o, wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Àwọn ọmọdé wọ̀nyí kéré sí nọ́mbà wa.
Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa.
Not because I suffer fast, not because I pray and fast. No be your show, no be that. I'm watching. Daily Osinachi, I'm no qua, Osinachi. One man, Osinachi, I'm watching. Daily Osinachi, Mama, Osinachi.
My friend, let's work. Hello. You are welcome to this panel. The panel is titled Yoruba Art today. Yoruba Art yesterday.
today and tomorrow. And we are pleased to have our panelists online. For now, we have two panelists. Felix Babatunde Egunjobi is from the Polytechnic Ibadan. He's a sculptor and an art historian. And we have Nathaniel Olaolu Ogunyale from formerly Lagos State Polytechnic, now Lagos State University of Science and Technology. And I'm the chair and organizer of this panel. I remain Dr. Kehinde Adepegba, also from Lagos State University of Science and Technology. We are still expecting two other panelists who will be joining us on this program. They are Oni Akinsoji Francis. He's a graphic artist and an art historian from Lagos State University of Science and Technology. Also, we'll be expecting Oshisada Olusoji Oshiele to join us on the panel as well. Yoruba art is an important art. It's a classic art that has brought fame to Nigeria, and is an art that has promoted the Yoruba culture all over the globe. And there has been a lot of changes that have overwhelmed the art, but the art has remained resistant in the face of this continuous social change. It's comprised of all forms of art that you can talk about, which include wood carvings, cloth weaving, textile, costume design, metalwork, pottery, and so on and so forth. So because of the dynamism that has been the major characteristics of the art form, we cannot but look at what has always happened, how the art has reflected the change that has affected it over time, and what is the future of the art. And we have on the panel the people that will be looking at different areas of the art and explaining how the art has resisted, or so to say, has continued to retain some aspects of the old characteristics in spite of changes. And we're going to listen first to Mr. Egunjobi Felix Babatunde, who is going to be talking about continuity and change in Egungun costume in Fiditi. You have about 12 minutes to spend, or 15 minutes, let's say 15 minutes, since we are still expecting some of our panelists. So Mr. Egunjobi is a sculptor and is an art historian. And I believe he has done a lot of work in this area. So let us listen to him while in line for Mr. Nathaniel Ogunyale to take a cue. Thank you very much. Over to you, Egunjobi Felix.
Good morning, everybody. My chair, good morning. Can you hear me?
Hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Presenting a paper on and change costumes in Fiditi. I want to start by the definition of, because Egungun is part of ancestral worship. And I want to say that in Africa, there are a lot of ways in which that venerate ancestors or worship ancestors, whichever way. And one of the ways is the one that is practiced among the Yoruba people of southwestern Nigeria, that is called Egungun mass dramaturgy, or Egungun pageantry, or Egungun spectacle. And egungun is believed to be to have emanated from the need to worship the ancestors or to venerate our ancestors in order to garner some benefits from them. And those benefits will be precipitated on how well you worship them. Egungun is said to have been of your origin by authors like Lajubu, most of them. But Nala also believe that it is of Nupe origin. It is. There is a correlation, between the Nupe origin, because according to Baba Yemi, he said even in Nupe, the people practice Egungun mass dramaturgy or Egungun pageantry. They are mostly the Bedegi people, and the Bedegi people were migrants from Oyo, to Mupe at a point in history. Essentially, we have many Yoruba masquerade traditions. We have the Ekpa, we have Ekini, we have Abore Mireke, we have Yogo, we have Agemo or Iyo, and they have always been on, which at a time people start calling masquerades, but
it seems we have lost touch with Mr. Felix Igujobi. I think why we are waiting for him to reconnect, perhaps we need to move on because of our time. I think Akin Sodif will need to join us, but
yes,
maybe we should start to listen to Mr. Nathaniel Wale, who is going to be talking to us on Yoruba artistic tradition in contemporary carnival, Ondo Art Festival in focus. I believe that by the time we have a good job again, we'll continue from where it stopped. Okay. Over to you, Mr. Ogunyale.
Thank you, Mr. Shia. I would like to ask for permission to share my...
Hello, okay.
Hello.
Hello, we are hearing you.
Yeah, okay. The thing just, I don't know what happened.
But would you like to continue now?
Yes, I will continue.
Okay, Mr. Ogunyale, please hold on. Let's
so there is a misconception on this Yoruba masquerade tradition, as they are always called, all of them are called Egungun, but because their functions are very different. All masquerades are not Egungun, but all Egungun are masquerade. The statement of research problem. You know why I want to choose, why I chose this topic is that I realized that in recent times, there is a new trend, in Yoruba Art generally, and Egungun has been part of Yoruba Art. At least that's one of the ways in which the Yoruba, they express themselves artistically. That is why I chose Egungun, and I chose Egungun in Fiditi because Egungun in Fiditi have not been widely covered. And in Fiditi, we have a variety of masquerades. I mean, a variety of Egungun in Fiditi now that their exquisite costume, evidence change and continuity. Formerly, the old costumes were always made out of, especially the main costume, out of traditional woven fabrics like Kalari, Kijikpa, Etu, Sonyan, etc., etc. But these days, imported fabric materials are now used to make or to construct egungun costumes. And there are also evidences of imported hand gloves and canvas. Some egungun even wear canvas. So that is the composition of egungun costumes in recent times, especially the one that is found on Fiditi. In the composition of the eku, there are different components. We have the chepe, that is the first wear. That's why the Yoruba always say that then we have the okolombo, that's the second wear. Then before the main wear, then we also have the anglos that is called ibowo, and we have the shoes that is called akpabo. Then there are also some other accessories like the masks and figurines, the magical or medicinal contents. We have the relics of birds. We have things like animal skulls and other materials alike. There are many festivals that are celebrated in Fiditi. We have Ifa, we have Oya, Ogun, Sango, Obanimoro, and a host of others. But the most widely celebrated in Fiditi is Egungun, which always bring people from all over the world, people in diaspora, to come and participate in the annual festival. I will just choose some of the Egungun and discuss their costumes. Like we have Akuno is a colorful masquerade in Fiditi. It was brought again by a man called Kende. His father was the patron of the Egungun, but at the point in history, the father died and they left the Egungun. Eventually, this political disturbance from this Egungun, and it just encouraged them at least start the Egungun again. And sorry, I don't know whether you can show the PowerPoint from there, but I cannot show it from here, except I start. So essentially, we have Akuno Ogan, I captured the Akuno Ogan in 2012, 13, 15, 17, 2020, and 2021, so that I'll be able to look at the trend in the costume. And the costume reverse Akuno Ogan is one of the Egungun that have wooden masks to their costume. And the way the cone nature of the mask, wooden is their figurines, about 7, 8 figurines, that are tied together, and they are always on top of the Egungun. But if you look trend of the costume from 2012 to 2021, one we realize, at least I want to say this one at the beginning because it cuts across all the costumes. They don't normally change the costume completely. They just add new ones to the whole costumes. So when all this Egungun, when they start spinning, during choreography, one can easily see the layers of textile or fabric materials that have been used in the whole. But essentially, all these masks, Google now, they use new costumes. And these new costumes are majorly made of imported textiles, colorful imported textiles. So we also have Gungu Agbomola. Agbomola was, although the patron of Agbomola was not from Oje family, but his mother was. He had some problem with childbearing. And when he was going around, they advised him one person advised him that he should go and make an Egungun, maybe he can get children from there. And he did it, and he got this from there. So if you now look at the Akuno Ogo costume and the Agbomola costume, they are similar because that mother that is from the family came from Akuno Ogo family. In actual fact, it's the same cut tailor that always sold the two. So one can see a lot of similarities. It too have some wooden masks on top of the costume, both anthropomorphic masks and zoomorphic masks. So we also have Egungun Olukotun. Egungun Olukotun, they call them Egungun Paka because that is Olukotun and Olatubosun. They call them Egungun Paka because what is always on their head is like a sunfiso, but not actually sunfiso. So they call it Paka. That means they don't always have any wooden masks, no notable attachments. They just have simple fabric materials, colorfully sewn. Some medicinal or magical components. Then most of them always have cowrie shells, that just serves as embellishment on the cloth. What I'm saying is that all these costumes, if you look at them, the way they graduate from one year to another now, you can see that they are becoming more colorful. That is articulating the change and continuity, because this portends the continuous existence of some of our Yoruba culture, some of our Yoruba arts, especially the arts in the religion. And so then to just count it up, it is not the wood carving or some other components, especially the medicinal or magical components. They are not always changed. The wooden masks that they always use, they just polish them periodically, especially when the festival is getting nearer. And as there is a sort of relax even on the pageantry. Most of the former, they say women should not touch the cloth of the egungun, but because of the change, the trend, people are free to touch even women touches their clothes without any consequences. Then in the sacred groove that is called the ballet. Formerly, it is restricted for some initiates, but these days you just see visitors, researchers, entering the place. And I don't know whether this operates in all the egungun in Yoruba, across Yoruba land, but at least the egungun in Fiditi, you see people trooping in and dropping out. They relax all this ritual pressure that they go through. They relax it so that people can come and witness. Some even take pictures when they are performing all these things. So conclusively, egungun marks pageantry in Fiditi has witnessed a lot of changes, and it portends a good continuity for African arts. Thank you. Thank you, sir. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself, sir.
Thank you.
Unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah, I think you can hear me now. Can you hear me?
We can't hear you, sir.
Hello?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, now.
I also can hear you very well.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Egunjobi, for that fantastic presentation. And I think you have been able to deal with the work, as titled. I want to go to Mr. Ogunyale, and we already have in the house Mr. Oni, who will be talking after Mr. Ogunyale. Mr. Ogunyale, you have 15 minutes to talk about your paper, which is titled Yoruba Artistic Tradition in Contemporary Carnival, Ondo Art Festival in Focus. Let's hear you.
Permit me to share my screen. Yoruba Artistic Tradition in Contemporary Carnival, Ondo Art Festival in Focus. Yoruba artistic tradition as a unique contribution to the art world has been established in art historical field with scholars such as Bascon and Fag highlighting the quality of Yoruba Ife plastic art. However, these works have not adequately addressed the issue of festival performance as part of Yoruba contribution to the world. This paper therefore presents performance in festivals as art form, with a special attention to Ondo Art Festival. In order to reveal the aesthetics in Yoruba Festival, the paper presents traditional festival and contemporary carnival as one and part of Yoruba artistic tradition that deserve sustenance. It also highlights the socio-economic significance of carnival among Yoruba. In conclusion, this paper posits that contemporary carnival should be deliberately supported by authorities at all levels, as it contributes to arts, culture, and improved economy of Yoruba people locally, and also promotes this to the rest of the world. Who are the Yoruba? Before I talk about Yoruba, I would like to quote one of John F. Kennedy, the 35th president of US. And I quote, it says, "If art is to nourish the roots of our culture, society must set the artist free to follow his vision wherever it takes him." The Yoruba people or Yoruba-speaking people number over an estimate of 25 million and occupy the southwestern parts of Nigeria, from Lagos State, Ogun State, Oyo State, Osun State, Edo State, and the southern parts of the Republic of Benin. And they also share similar cultural and artistic heritage. Yoruba Ife plastic art, which is a Yoruba artistic tradition, is widely known. Ife art is regarded as one of the great contributions that Yoruba has made to the cultural heritage of mankind. Because of the quality of these works, the heads are referred to as classical art. Whereas Yoruba traditional festival as a visual art form, which is another contribution to the world, is yet to be positioned in its rightful cultural place. Festivals such as Egungun Festival, which is an ancestral spirit celebration, Eyo Festival, which is a homage to the death of a king or important personality, Gelede Festival, which is a public display in colorful masks, which combines art and ritual dance to amuse, educate, and inspire worship. Egunuko Festival is a display of tall masquerade that can lengthen or shorten itself. Each of these have unique features and characteristics. This shows that the Yoruba art is not only visual, but includes song, poetry, dance, and performance. Johan Huizinga, a Dutch historian and one of the founders of modern-day cultural history, says, and I quote, "If we are to preserve culture, we must continue to create it." In line with that assertion, today, contemporary ideas have been developed and merged with the traditional festival. Ideas such as street parade, colorful and artistic costumes, motorcade procession, roller skating performances, hip-hop song and dance, symposium, lectures, and award ceremonies, and most importantly, economic summits have been included in contemporary performance and contemporary festival. The merger of traditional festival with contemporary festival has made it to become one big carnival. Carnivals are celebration of tradition and culture of a people, full of fun, display of masks, colorful costumes, music, and parades. Ondo Art Festival is a unique example of this contemporary development. Oshodi Art Gallery and Cultural Foundation went into partnership with Ondo State Government of Ogbeni Rotimi Akeredolu to organize and produce the first of its kind in Ondo State in 2018. This was repeated in 2019, but has not taken place after that. The carnival started with a street parade of young ones in colorful costume attires, parading the street to create awareness, enthusiasm, and fun. They gather together in preparation to set out for the festival. These are street parades in the city of Ondo State in 2018 and also in 2019. A scene from one of the past events of Ondo Art Festival showing young ones who are in the festival mood. You can note the colorful array of costumes and body decorations. This also improves the aesthetic of the entire show. Young ones on parade, happy and enthusiastic with various artistic productions, dance and music on the streets. This is a display of art and culture. I will want to give you some sound and sight of Ondo Art Festival.
Art is about sharing the way we experience the world, of which for some, it's about the extension of personality. And on this note, we say, welcome to Sunshine State and Ondo Art Festival.
Let me make mention of the socio-economic significance of Ondo Arts Festival. It promotes arts, culture, and tourism. Art business, craft makers, dancers, musicians, dramatists, fashion designers, costume designers, drummers and music makers, food and drink sellers, and face painters. Government should be interested in this because it brings about peaceful coexistence and economic development to the people. In Ondo State, there are 18 local governments with different types of food, dialects, and resources, which are totally different from each other. So if government promotes this, it is going to be for the benefit of all and sundry. Contemporary art festival benefits youth. Benefits are youth engagement, tourism development, art, craft business, music, talent development, and economic development. A Canadian literary critic, Northrop Frye, says, in an immature society, culture is an import. For a mature society, it is a native manufacture, which eventually becomes an export. If arts, culture, and economy of Yoruba people is to be developed beneficially, then contemporary carnival should be promoted by the governmental authorities and corporate bodies. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. That is a well-presented paper. Nathaniel Ogunyale has been talking on the Yoruba artistic tradition and contemporary carnival, Ondo Art Festival in focus. It is already 6 o'clock, and I believe between now and 6:30, we should have the next 2 speakers talk to us. We have next to Ogunyale, Mr. Akinsoji Francis Oni, because by 6:30 to 7, we should be doing interaction, especially that we started having a question being posted to us. Mr. Ogunyale, you will need to look at the chat box for some questions that have been put there in readiness for discussion. Mr. Francis Okinsoji Oni will be talking to us on a study of decorative motifs and patterns in Yoruba metal kitchen utensil. So in the next 15 minutes or thereabout, should be through with your presentation. Over to you, Mr. Oni. Mr. Oni, we are listening to you.
We can't hear you. Mr. Dr. Adekwegba, we cannot hear you.
Okay, I think it seems we have lost contact with Mr. Oni. We hope that very soon, Mr. Oni will be joining us. Mr. Oshisada, are you ready for us?
Good evening.
Mr.
Can you hear my voice?
Okay, we can hear you. Are you set
Okay.
to present your paper?
Almost set. I just arrived.
Okay, I think you can just take it up immediately. Mr. Oshisada is talking on tattoo tradition of Yoruba and contemporary culture in Nigeria. So let's hear you.
Good evening, gentlemen. The theme of my paper is tattoo tradition of the Yoruba and contemporary culture in Nigeria. This paper aligns the concepts of tattoo in Yoruba tradition and the perception of tattoo in Nigeria. We understand that tattoo is a body art that has been practiced for centuries by diverse cultures. And these cultures have various intentions for designing tattoos on their bodies. However, the name tattoo was first coined from Tahitian word tattoo or tatau, which means to mark or to strike. And it's a native language of the Tahitians. It came about when one Captain Cook and his crew from London had expedition to South Pacific and came in contact with some locals who design tattoos all over their bodies. So this influenced these crew members. And on reaching uh, England, they introduced this tattoo, body art, to the society. The people among these who were influenced by this body art were wealthy class people, working class, and um, lower class people. The wealthy class people did this tattoo to express themselves. However, with time, uh, lower class took over, and then the criminals and other people in the society, the aggressive, the deviants, took this tattoo as part of their lifestyle. And later on, they were stigmatized. This same thing happened. It happens in the contemporary era. When we compare the tattoo of the Yoruba tradition to the tattoo we normally see bodies of youths today, we we can observe that there is stigmatization that goes along with tattooing in general sense, which may not appeal to some people, especially the religious bodies. The Yoruba tradition embraces um, tattooing for various reasons, just like other African societies. They have their own reasons for having tattoos on their bodies. For example, during war, in the time when a period when the European invaded the African uh, lands, and there were wars, and because of uh, identification, children, babies were given marks and scarifications so that when they are lost during the stampede wars later, uh, after so many years, when they are found, it will be a form of identification for, for them. And they also did this tattoo for fashion, adornment of their bodies to enhance their beauties, for beautification. And then to some, it's a symbol of wealth to show that they are wealthy. Uh, uh, we should note that we also have tribal marks, which also goes along with tattoo, as some tattoos goes along with scarifications. So, but when we look at the case today, uh, the modern tattoo we have today is being influenced by the media, the Western culture has influenced the youths of today. And the media gives um, exposure to youths through music, movies, and celebrities, sports. We have several of sportsmen, musicians who indulge in tattooing. And so youths admire such personalities. We have the likes of Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, Kiss Daniel, and so many others who the youth see as role models. Because of this, they also have the foreign artists as well, and the sportsmen who also do tattoo. And this is how the youth are influenced. And uh, in the locality, in Bariga community, uh, interaction with some youths revealed that some of them did this tattoo out of youthful exuberance, peer group influence. Some do not know the meaning of tattoo. They find others, their friends, designing tattoo in their bodies, and they also join in it. They cannot give explanation to tattoo. So while some see it as an expression of themselves, of their personality, some will draw lion, some will draw cross to symbolize their religious beliefs. Some will draw animals to relate with their personality. And we also have these categories of people who see it as fashion. A discussion with a tattoo designer explains that many engage in tattooing because of fashion, just for fashion's sake. And there is nothing other than that. But looking at Yoruba tradition, we can see that women, ladies, especially the singles, were the ones who were interested in tattooing, because the ladies who are singles want to look for us. And because of that, as part of their makeups, they would paint their bodies with traditional makeups, and they include tattoo to their bodies to appeal to the male suitors. So general concept of Yoruba tradition in tattoo is was restricted to the female gender. But looking at it today, tattoo, every person, either male or female, engage in tattooing. There is no restriction. And unfortunately, the society in general frown at tattooing because it's the perception they have is that prostitutes, cultists, criminals are the ones who do tattoo, and it's a sign of rascality. And because of that, the many youths have landed into trouble. They find themselves in the hands of the security agencies, such as the defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS. Sometime about 2 years ago, the part of the police force, Nigerian police force, called SARS, invaded, harassed, violates the rights of some citizens by their appearances, looking at the dreadlock, looking at the tattoo over their body, and the perception that the police have is that these are criminals. These are fraudsters, internet fraudsters called Yahoo boys. So it's a stigma, it's a stereotype. Tattooing is stereotype to categories of youths who indulge in this. When a lady is seen wearing tattoo, it is believed that she's promiscuous, she's a prostitute, and but unlike the Yoruba traditional culture in tattooing, there was nothing of such. It's well appreciated, having tattoo decorated over their bodies. And well, when we look at the Hausas, I'll try to make you to understand that we have wrong perception about tattoo. We have the Hausas who do body decoration over their body, but we do not condemn such. We do not condemn them. We do not tag them prostitutes. But on seeing here in Southwest, when we look at youths design their bodies with tattoo, it gives impression, wrong impression, that they are not responsible, that they are bad people in the society. Thank you very much. Hello?
Thank you, Mr. Oshisada, for that
Yes,
presentation. Finally, want to go to the speaker. Thank God that you are back, Mr. Oni. I hope you are hearing me now. Please go ahead and present your paper titled A Study of Decorative Motifs and Patterns on Yoruba Metal Kitchen Utensils. Over to you. Unmute yourself. We are not hearing you. We are not hearing yet. Mr. Oni, we are not hearing you yet.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Go
Okay,
ahead.
good. Okay, thank you, sir. I'm so sorry for the network issue. So, briefly, I'll be talking about a study of decorative motifs and patterns on Yoruba metal kitchen utensils. So, firstly, I would like to explain the decorative kitchen utensils, which is one of the many items women use to showcase their wealth. So across all cultures, particularly among the Yoruba women, who values and admire kitchen utensils. And this admiration was what made them to acquire these decorated items at all costs. The way they acquire jewelries and attires. However, these decorated utensils are purely work of art, and they were made locally with local materials. And they were made locally with local materials. So the study will discuss some of the local items identified for this research. Then the popular ones will also be discussed that are used by the Yoruba women in their kitchen. So decorative kitchen item is a popular art craft among the Yoruba of Nigeria. This type of art concern with the productions of objects which are both functional and beautifully made to be used as household or kitchen equipment. According to Aisha Zeko, who defined a decorative art as any art forms that concerns with design and decorations of objects that are chiefly prized for their utility rather than for their purely aesthetic quality. Examples of these items are ceramics wares, glass, metal wares, and other. So in particular, I'll be talking about the Yoruba metal kitchen utensils. So the decorative artwork serve, these decorative artworks I'm talking about serve many purposes, depending on what is being used for. In Yoruba, for instance, people who display their wealth, some people display their wealth in their architectures, fashions, and the kitchen utensils. Majorly, the use of decorative utensils among the wealthy women in Yoruba became a popular practice in the early 90s, where women purchase beautiful household for the purpose of decorating, for the purpose of decorations, and also have a keen interest in kitchen utensils. So these decorated kitchen items were purchased slightly expensive and found among the slightly expensive than the conventional ones that are found among the lower class in the society. So Yoruba kitchen utensils, Yoruba kitchen utensils can be used for any forms of cooking or serving food. Some of these cooking utensils are made locally with local material. In Yoruba context, cooking utensils are product of crafts creatively made by indigenous people for domestic use. These cooking items vary depending on the uses and the material that is being used to make them. So some of the producers of these kitchen utensils are blacksmithing, aluminum casters, potters, and many more. So the blacksmithing, ones that are produced or made by the blacksmithing, these products of blacksmithing include the popular one that we know as spoon, which is called in Yoruba shibi, the knife, which is referred to as obe. These items were fashioned out from metals through heating and bending of iron to achieve a desired shape. Also, the popular one for cooking, which is known as aluminum casting, which is called ikoko irin. This ikoko irin is a popular craft among the people of Okeogun, and it is widely practiced across all Yoruba culture. So some of the products of these aluminum castings include shibiayo, aboayo, ambo, and many more. These items were creatively made with ornaments to beautify them and for the purpose of decoration. The importance of ornaments on these kitchen items. Number one, is to showcase how wealthy a family is. For instance, in the olden days, our women believed that it is for them to have some unique kitchen items in their kitchen, just for them to show the class of the, just to show their class in the society. They acquire this kind of kitchen utensils that have elaborate design, just simply because they want to show the class of the women they be in the society. So another importance of this acquiring this kitchen item is that some of them acquire them to beautify their kitchen alone, and which is a very popular one. If you go to any villages around, we see them display some of these kitchen items on their cupboard. They have some, they acquire some beautiful plates that have motifs, that have patterns on them, and purposely they kept them for the to beautify their kitchen. And another thing is that
it seems that, hello, hope we are. Are you hearing me?
Hello?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm so sorry. The network is just cutting off here.
Okay, please start to round up your presentation.
So let me quickly move to the types of metal kitchen utensils and their design on them. The popular ones are printed motifs that are found on items like plates, mug, knives, and all that. These type of printings were printed with hands with colorful design. And some of the design found on these plates were inscribed on it through a popular method I can call stenciling method. Some of the patterns were cut out. Some of these patterns were cut out and dabbed on some of these plates just for the purpose of the decorate the items. Another one is design found on the aluminum pot, which is known as kokori. This kokori is fashioned out with a melted iron. It's fashioned out with a melted iron, and designs were created on this melted iron through a method which is referred to as casting techniques. So this craft works is a popular art among the people of Okeogun. And the method being used is local method of melting iron into liquid that is used to form the design. So the motifs and patterns on them, motif to an artist is a unit of design used to beautify an artwork. The use of these motifs are symbolic and cultural, depending on what is being made for or to perform. Some of the motifs found on this object are crown, scorpion, beads, and different types of designs of comb are found on these kitchen items. And they were carefully incorporated into these kitchen items. For instance, decorated kitchen items are specially made for the king. There are some items that are specially made for the king, which has some royal motifs to showcase the kingship. So likewise, some wedding home also have a customized items for their use or acquire for purpose of decorations and domestic use. So in conclusion, this motif and patterns found on the kitchen potentially for decoration for artworks. And these patterns were adopted from Yoruba art style. Thank you.
Thank you very much, presenters, for a job well done. I think this is time to take observation and question. But before that, let me say that in our subsequent presentations, you try to make use of slides as done by Mr. Weale, because we are discussing visual culture. And a lot of these will be better understood with a lot of images. So I believe this will have enhanced our presentation. So for presenters who did not use PowerPoint, I think next time let's make sure we do this so that our listeners can understand what we are talking about. Of course, we have talked about the Yoruba of yesterday and today, and how things have evolved, how a lot of interaction in terms of technology, popular culture, all of these have interacted and has changed the visual look, the visual output of Yoruba art. So I think this is well explained in all the presentations that we have had. It means that Yoruba art has shown a form of dynamism it has retained some of its old features while assimilating new ones. So thank you all for your presentation. I think we start from Mr. Ogunyale. There's a question that has been posted to you. I hope you have seen the question. Can you please respond to the question? He's talking about how Caribbean festival and tradition has influenced Yoruba and other festivals in Nigeria. What can you say about this, Mr. Ogunyale?
Well, the
Mr.
impact.
Ogunyale.
Okay. The impact, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
The impact of Caribbean festival. Okay. The impact of Caribbean festival traditions onto Yoruba and other art festivals in Nigeria is very numerous. If you know, well, the Caribbeans are mostly initially populated by Blacks, Africans, Yoruba, and other tribes who dominate these Caribbean places. And all these festivals are dominated by music, dance, and food, which is the same with our own festival in Nigeria or in Yoruba part. We have music, food, dance, poetry, and what have you. All these are also have influenced. It's like the activities are dynamic. Much as we are influenced, they are also influenced in one way or the other. But one thing that is important is that all the festivals are fused with local culture. So African Yoruba culture has left an indelible mark in Caribbean, if we take it, if you examine it very well. And the second question was, how has hip-hop become part of Yoruba carnival tradition? Hip-hop is a style of popular music that is has US Black and Hispanic origin. And the identifying mark of hip-hop is that it features rap with music, with instrumental backing up. So there will be some, in an hip-hop performance, there must be an MC, there must be a DJ, there must be breakdance, and all other forms of entertainment. And that is also what we have here when we are talking of Yoruba carnival performance. So the traditional performance exhibits all these aspects of culture, dance, music, and performances. Also, hip-hop has now become a contemporary aspect that have been incorporated into this festival. Thank you.
What you are saying is that the Yoruba festival is reflecting Yoruba culture and has also assimilated other culture that it has come in contact with. Thank you very much. Mr. Oshisada, that was a question for you. And the question, yeah, we are with you. We are going to come to you, Mr. Egunjobi. Hope you are listening to us.
I'm just trying to alert you that I'm around now.
Yeah, we can see you. So we are going to come to you. We are now doing some discussion of what we have your people have been presented to us. Mr. Oshisada, can you talk to us about the origin? Are you saying that the Yoruba tattoo originated from overseas?
No.
Mr. Oshisada.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
What is the origin of the Yoruba tattoo?
Yes. The name tattoo, as I explained in the beginning of my discussion, is that it came from the Tahitian language. That is the name given to this body art tattoo, but it has been in existence for centuries, dating back to the prehistoric era. However, different diverse cultures have their tattoos. So likewise, the Yoruba culture have its own tattoo. I am not trying to say that Yoruba tattoo came from the Tahitian or from Europe. What I actually mean is that the name given to this body art, like the pigments using dye and then plants pigments, plants traditional colors into the skin, is a tattoo, a body art. But the Yoruba tattoo did not come from Europe. It's indigenous.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Oshisada.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Agunjobi, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Agunjobi,
I hope the network
are
is
you
not
with us?
again. Yes, I'm with you now.
Now, my question to you is that the Egungun pageantry that has been changing over time, does it have influence on the dress culture of the people of Fiditi or vice versa? Can you please expatiate on that?
Yes, definitely. That's some, we are talking about trend. Definitely it will have, some effect on even the way people dress, because, that means Egungun has taken into modernity. And since it has taken into modernity, there's no way to not affect every other thing, around the axis where it is practiced. So I think it has to a very great extent. Right? Because during the festival now, you see people wearing even ashwebi, colorful ashwebi. Some even wear clothes that are haking to be clothes of the mass.
Okay. He has lost again.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Egujobi. Yeah, there is a lot of interaction with the dress code of the people and how we find our costumes on the Google. Thank you very much. Mr. Oni, I want to talk about technology because you talk about the methods or methodology of printing design on those cooking utensils. How much influence does technology has on the utensils, on the design of these utensils? Mr. Oni.
Okay, thank you, sir. I want to quote from the last speaker who talks about continuity and change. It is so obvious that changes is happening every day. The old systems that many people use for creating patterns for creating design on items has evolved, and the art of cutting stencil, which is referred to as a traditional method, is no longer in practice. And so many sign writers of nowadays have actually not totally abandoned the method, but there is a modern means of printing on all these items, which we refer to as some items like sublimation printing that can be done through e-transfer on some of these items, instead of using cut and paste stenciling method. So now technology has taken over, things are evolving. So they are now making use of transfer on some of these items that I was talking about.
Okay, back to Mr. Oshisada. Mr. Oshisada.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Oshisada.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm with you.
Somebody just asked.
Okay.
Somebody asked if there is a special tribal marks to identify worshippers of, are you aware of any special tribal mark that can be used to identify Yoruba Orisha worshippers? For example, is there anything special that we can see to know that this is a local worshipper and so on and so forth, or maybe this is a prince and the rest?
Oh, well, the symbol I am aware of is that of the Ijon Mila. They have a symbol. It contains I, one I, and 3 exclamation mark. That is the symbol of Ijon Mila. And anywhere you see this symbol, it shows that it's either it is a place of worship or it's a residential of one of the members of this society. It's a secret society, and they will not want to expose their identity, unlike any other religious group or organization. And I think that's only a traditional religion I know.
Okay.
If I answer your question correctly, yes.
Okay, that question is actually from one of the participants, and I believe that there are general marks that are used by the Yoruba, and there's the ones that are revealing where you are coming from. Are you from Ondo or from Owu? That's why we have Ila Ondo, we have Abajo, yes. We have and some other ones like that. And there's even those ones that are specially made for princes, yes. Like in Oyo, I know there is a type of face mark that is called Abaja Bashorun, for those from the lineage of Bashorun, chieftaincy, Taichu. So I think this mark can actually tell where you are coming from and where you belong. But yes. For the Orisha, I think you may need to do more work to be able to tell us if there are specific tattoo or tribal marks that are meant for different or specific Orisha worshippers. Olokun Adire symbol are many, such as the OK symbol and the rest. I think this attendee is trying to help us to appreciate the different patterns that are also Yoruba symbols, especially those ones that we find.
Please, can you help me? Snap it from please.
So those ones that you find on Adire, those ones that reflect unity, another symbol. So thank you very much. I don't know if anybody has any question to ask any of the presenter on the panel. Do you have anybody, Mr. Or the presenter, do you have any question you want to ask other presenter as we will be running up in the next 10 minutes?
I just want to apologize.
Are you all hearing me?
Apology.
Yes.
Yes. I said, I'm just apologizing for my own and off.
We are with you. Can you come again?
I said, I just want to apologize to the whole house.
Okay, no problem. We understand. We understand that network can be epileptic, and
I think it's because of the rain
so
today.
that can also be responsible for the. It can be something for the for the network misbehavior. Of course, Mr. Nathaniel Ogunyale. Mr. Nathaniel.
Yes.
Mr. Ogunyale, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Mr. Ogunyale.
I'm with you.
So I want to just ask, the Ondo culture or Ondo festival, is it something that is done annually?
Yes, it is.
And do you think that it can be sustained? Do you think that it can be sustained? And what do you think it benefits the youth?
It's an annual event and it is supposed to be sustained because of the numerous benefits that it brings, not to the youth alone, to the community as a whole, and also to the government. The issue of youthful restfulness will come out to play in this regard. If youths are meaningfully engaged, artistically engaged, creatively, the community will benefit because there will be less crime and all unwanted activities because the youth will be engaged in showcasing their talent. So even if that is the only benefit, it's what. Apart from that, it also brings the economic importance. It has economic importance, economic implication to the community. For example, in each local government or area in Ondo State, they have specific type of food, specific type of mineral resources that are yet untapped, that are different from each locality to another. If during this festival, there is an action for all these items, it will expose the potential of the community to would-be investors or whatever. And it will also definitely bring benefits to the community where that type of resources is identified. So it's all encompassing activity. Government should support it. If they want to, if it is going to be sustained, government should support, private people should also support because it requires finances and it's only those who are well with that can sustain, that can provide funds that make this type of thing a sustainable venture. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to ask a question and I want each of you to answer the question. And this will be our passing shot. The question is, what is the future of Yoruba art? Especially that it has been so much influenced by all kinds of culture that is interacted with. What is the future of Yoruba art? Let me start from Mr. Ogunyale, then followed by Mr. Oshisada, Mr. Oni, and finally, Mr. Egunjobi. In 1 minute.
The future of Yoruba culture is bright. Today, the awareness about Yoruba culture is increasing. And if it continues in that way, it will be better. Even abroad, in foreign lands, Caribbean lands, the culture of Yoruba has gotten renaissance, there is a rebirth to the culture of Yoruba in all foreign countries, most especially the Caribbeans. The tradition, Yoruba tradition, that most of us here in the Yoruba land take for granted, is being celebrated worldwide. If this celebration is close to all and sundry, the future is bright. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Oshisada, over to you.
Yes, sir.
What is the future of Yoruba art?
The future of Yoruba art
What
or
is the
future of
Yoruba
Yoruba
art?
culture?
Future art.
Yoruba art. You know,
Okay.
the Yoruba culture is part of the Yoruba culture is Yoruba art. And one of the ways
Oh, yes.
we can see, visualize Yoruba culture
Yes.
is through the art.
Yes. I see that the future of Yoruba art is bright. We observe that our textile is being patronized by the Western culture. We see the foreigners put on natives, female attires, they wear gele, Iru and Buba, especially when there is intermarriage. They visit Nigeria, I will see them dancing, putting on our traditional attire. This that the Western world really appreciates one aspect of our art, which is and textile. When we go to culture, the Yoruba culture, the language, as long as language still remain as part of our culture, is being spoken worldwide, the Yoruba culture will never die. We have seen several foreigners learning and speaking Yoruba fluently. I visited the University of Ibadan, and they interact with the people in the market, on the road, on the street, and these foreigners coming from US, United States of America, they speak Yoruba friendly, and we admire them, we appreciate them. This is to show that the future of Yoruba art and culture is very bright. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Oni.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I will say that the future of Yoruba art is bright, as rightly said by others. But if we look at it from the times of the Ife artists, they have rightly placed Yoruba artists into global recognition, because Ife art as widely acceptable and is also compared to work of great artists like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and all that. So only thing we need to do as Yoruba artists is that we should maintain the foundations that the Ife people have laid down and probably project it more for people to know. And if you can see that the future is there already and it's bright. So we only need to maintain the foundation that has been laid by the Ife artists. So that is my contribution.
Mr. Egunjobi.
Yes, me, I want to look at it from the art. Yes, I want to look at it from the art in the cultural festivals, because in almost Yoruba cultural festivals, especially, because coming home, most of them have all this art, the demonstration of artistry, especially in the people with the way they wear clothes, in all these liturgical sculptures, and the one I discussed, which is the costume, the ex costume of Egungun Bechantry. So all these ones, because of the way that the festivals are now celebrated now, being rejuvenated, especially that of, the ones of Egungun Mass Dramaturgy, that of Osho Festival, it is getting, it is trending now. And if something is trending, then there is a future for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We must appreciate it for giving us this platform to discuss our panel, which is titled Yoruba Art, Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. And I believe that we have had a good time on this panel. We have been able to discuss the importance of Yoruba visual culture, especially as presented by the TC. And I want to say, one of the ways by which we can guarantee the future for us who are scholars is to ensure that we do a lot of documentation of our art. This is very, very, very important. I mean, we should do a lot of documentation, scholarship of our art. We have people who have set the standard, the Roland Abiodun of this world, the Moyo Kidiji, Bolaji Kambe, Babatunde Lawa, and others. I think we can also, as young scholars, we can also do much more. Adebegba is also there, Cornelius Adekugba, and we have others who have joined us from all over the world. LSA, thank you. We'll see another time. I think we should say thank you to LSA. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll continue to.
Thank you.
Bye. See you another time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
LSA.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Ah.